Hey Melissa, it's David. So I'm on lunch right now, and I was on the fryer today, and I did get a lot of support from Carla and Elia. They were super awesome, and they didn't like freak out. However, we were a lot busier than we normally are, and they ate a significant amount more than usual. And since a lot of stuff takes a long time to prepare, I mean, it didn't go poorly because luckily I also make corn. So whenever we ran out of something, we just replaced it with the corn. So we were okay, but like we could have been better. And so I would probably say that, I don't know, back when I used to do catering, there used to be like one person, maybe two, that would take care of like 50, 60, 70 people. Even more sometimes. But the way we would do it is we prepared everything way before. So Marco did a really good job. He prepared all the chicken. He prepared like everything on the pans, like the chickens, the baked chicken. So all I had to do is like send it through, which is great. That was really helpful. But back when I used to do catering, what we used to do is have everything in the pots and pans ready to go. And we used to just stack everything up in the like mobile walk-in. And the reason we would do that is you want to be really, really fast when you're cooking. But if you're preparing food and serving it and cooking, you're not doing it so well. So I definitely think there's some room to improve. But I don't know if we have to get like your approval or corporate's approval. But I would also say, I did notice there's a lot of safety hazards back there. For example, it is common that we leave hot water right next to a very, very hot fryer. Now, I don't know about you, but I have seen a water and fryer fire, and it's terrible. There's like a chance that you could get burned. I mean, it's like pretty bad. So I definitely think we need to do something about that, because that's for sure a hazard. And then I would probably say, if we could get all of the items for the buffet in their containers first and stack them up in the walk-in, then all we have to do, even if we have 1 million people, is just put everything in to cook. It's the fastest thing to do. It's way easier. And this way you can cook correctly, control the portions. So, it's kind of up to you. That's what I would recommend. And then I did also notice we don't seem to have enough of the metal tins. So, it was rather tedious to like run back and forth. And then there's people carrying like hot dishes and like cold dishes and all this stuff. And then, as you know, our walk-in does not have a window. So typically people are just like kicking the walk-in door open. And, it's kind of somewhat of a hazard, I would say. So we should probably take care of those first. But if we were able to prepare everything like beforehand and just stack everything up in the walk-in, it would be much easier and much faster for us to get the food out. Same thing with like the baked chicken. If we already had it like stacked in the pan, then it's easy. You just kind of send it through, and you wouldn't have to worry about having to like prepare it and all of that stuff. Because even though Carla was awesome, she was in the back. She was like, preparing chicken, making sure things that were done correctly and safely. And Elia was doing a great job of manning the front. It would just be, a lot easier if you just had everything already prepared. Because it's kind of a tight space back there. The kitchen really only can fit like, maybe one person, maybe two. And then you have people walking back there with like dishes and, pots and pans and stuff. So it definitely gets a little hazardous. I also need Sharpies so that I could write on the cardboard boxes. When we do it with the pen, you can't really see very well. And it's kind of difficult to make out. So I need Sharpies. And then, if we were able to get the foil that is already pre-cut, we probably wouldn't waste so much foil. Now, I think foil is pretty expensive, but I don't know. The other thing is that we don't have enough lids, metal lids. So the metal lids, what those would be for, is instead of putting the saran wrap, we just put the lids on them. So we would definitely benefit from all of that. And I would probably say if I had a little area where I could put a bus tub, where I could put all of the empty dishes, it would take a lot less time than right now. Like every time I have a dirty like plate or a dirty like spoon, I have to run to the back and go put it away. But if I had a bus tub, like what I used in the morning, it would be much easier. You can just take the bus tub and go. And Ramon was especially helpful, like super helpful. Now I did like the fryer position, but I do pretty much, I'm like 5'6", maybe 140 pounds with like a wet t-shirt on. So it is a little difficult for me to lift a lot of, the stuff. Like for me, it's heavy. For other people, it might not be considered heavy. But for me, it's like kind of heavy. So I'm not sure that somebody like me or Ramon are the best person to do the fryer. But, we would always be willing to. And then, one thing that I do want to point out, which I do find ridiculous, is that I used a measuring cup that was in the prep station, and Lorena had a heart attack, kind of like a child. And she was like, oh, no puedes usar mi taza porque es mío, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, huh? I was like, first of all, I don't understand what you're saying, because you're speaking a language that is not the language we speak here in America. Secondly, I'm not sure why you're acting like a child, but you are. And so I was like, okay, well, you could use this measuring cup. And she was like, no, like, I can't use that one, no. So I kind of laughed, I'm not gonna lie. I did laugh a little bit because she's like 50 and she was acting like a kid. And I'm like, just use this measuring cup. And she was like, no, no más puedo usar ese taza es mío. Yeah. So again, I laughed again because it was pretty funny. And I was just like, here, you can use this one. But, she just got upset and ran back to her little room. And in the morning, same thing. I tried to get some metal, pans. And she was like, no, ¿qué estás haciendo? No, no puedes entrar mi cuarto. So I laughed. I did. I totally laughed. It was pretty funny. Because I needed to get those metal pans so that I could make a second thing of rice, which we ran out of today. But since she said no, I didn't make the rice. So, I don't know. I don't know if you want to talk to her about it or, I don't know. Or I don't know if that room is like specifically designated for her. That's like her bedroom. I don't understand. But you may want to look into that when you have a chance. So yeah, other than that, I would say that things went like pretty well. It was pretty interesting. But like I said, I really do feel that I had a lot of support from Carla and from Elia and from Ramon. They were really, really helpful, and they were very like enthusiastic all this time. But we did have a little bit of like Lorena acting like a child. So that I would say is probably not like the best behavior, of an adult. But that's maybe something that like, you need to work out because, in my opinion, the way I look at it, I look at that as like a very hostile, like working environment. And since she has that reputation with all of corporate and you guys kind of like allow it and foster it, to me, that's like you guys are aware that she's a bully and you guys like egg her on. So I'm hoping that if that's not the case, then obviously you're going to react like very swiftly and very fairly, and very firmly. That's what, that's what Nancy used to say. You want to be fair and you want to be firm. So to be fair to me and the other staff, you need to be firm with Lorena. And you got to just like break it down for her. And so I think we could definitely benefit from that. And I would say that if we were able to kind of like fix a lot of those things, I think we would have better service. And instead of us being like, average, we could be great. And then I also do want to ask you something. The other day, Steven, he made us a pizza, and it was so cool. He put 2 little eyes on the pepperonis, and then he put like a sausage as the mouth, and a piece of like ham as the nose, and it looked like really cool. So I know we don't have like a kids menu, but theoretically you could charge them like an extra $2 and give them a toy from the game room and a little happy smiley face, and we could call it a kids menu, but it's up to you. So anyway, that's what I would say I think we could improve on. And those are more or less the workplace hazards that I noticed. But there were a couple other ones. Like I did notice that, we also have a broken timer on one of the fryers. So it doesn't like go off when it's supposed to. So it doesn't make a sound, it's like a silent alarm, which is somewhat of a hazard. And then one of the the oven warmers is broken. So there's like a little metal tray and it's totally broken. And I nearly burned myself trying to like lift everything up. We also only have one glove, or like what is it called? The little heating oven gloves. So we need one of those. And I would say that's probably like it for now that I could think of. But yeah, if you want to, just get back to me whenever you have a chance, that's fine. But I would say that all in all, I was very impressed with how like nice and calm Elia and Carla were. Although I did notice the dynamic change a little bit once like Lorena came to the front. And I don't know, you would have to ask them. But to me it seems like, both Carla and Elia are also affected by her and her like demeanor. I don't know if it's like she intimidates them, or if she just like makes them nervous or like feel hostile. But I definitely could sense the change, when she came out to the front. So I don't know what you would want to do about it. If anything, you could do nothing, of course. But there are a growing number of staff. I think right now there's like 12 or 13. And they are preparing to file a hostile work environment like claim, as well as a lost wages claim. So I don't know. But anyway, I would say all in all, I would say it was pretty good. Oh, sorry.